Hello. Howdy. Gamers. Wrong helmet. I really need to name those differently. They are named differently. Oh my god. They are named differently. And I did not even notice. Hello? I need to work on this model's proportions. They are not adequate. Especially because I cannot lift my arms up unless I extend past my fingies. And then my hands turn into death. So I think I need to work on the proportions. I think her legs are too long. Or maybe her torso is too long. Because they touch down her thigh. So maybe her torso is too long. Or maybe her legs are an inappropriate size. I am not sure. Because the problem I'm having is that my arms do not extend all the way. So maybe even my arms are too long. I don't remember the exact how it works. Galaxy. No. I don't know. I haven't really played with all of this yet. Oh. That's the previous IK, I think. Which is icky. We don't want that. Avatar measurement? Whoa, that fixed it! Oh my god! What did that just do? What did that just do? What just happened? Oh my god! What the fuck? What was that? That's a magic button! That's a magic button! That's a magic button. But now my hands are at my mouth right now. But that's not where my mouth is. That is weirdly where my view ball is, though. Magic button. The only problem is now I have to be careful about raising my hands. Because this is still a problem. Holla. Oh, if I lean back, then it is okay. So I will just have to... That looks dumb. It will be fine. They will just have to understand. I will just tell them it is a glitch. It is a glitch with my chassis. It occasionally happens. Hello? I found a magic button.
What?
It changed my tracking. And now my arms go all the way down. And all the way up. It's amazing.
What button was that? What button was that?
It is
Hello,
avatar
Rayna.
measurement.
Oh.
Oh. You didn't know about the avatar measurement?
No. I'm
Oh.
stupid. I am bad at video games, but I am free.
Hello.
Try to decide if I want to
Hello.
Rayna. Wholesome baby.
Take some medicine.
Oh, rest your brain if you're having a migraine. Rest your breast if you're having a migraine, woman.
bad one. It's not a
Take
bad one or anything like
some
that.
medicine.
Things are.
I don't
Hey,
like
please.
medicine. It's
Going
gross.
okay in my.
Then perish. Really? Turning off arm span is fix your problem?
I'm throwing a
Weird.
wrench either in my plans or in other people's plans. That's all I'm saying is what I'm doing in IMC at the moment.
By arm span now, however, by arm span or avatar height. Which one is used when matching an avatar to your real life body? Poggers. Well, if it works, it works. I'll have to see if that fixes cord too. Hello?
Hello. Do you have any weapons that is consuming harm violence on you?
I do not.
Oh my goodness, here you go.
Thank you. Yippee.
I kind of recognize you, so hey, no need to ask.
My name, yes, and we won't have this issue.
One of them would do what you want, but good fucking luck figuring out which one. That's not wrong. Oh, it's so cold in this spot. Maybe I should move out of this spot. Nope, it's still cold. Okay. I need to fix that. Beep, 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 beep. Oh! Don't trip. Don't trip, Ribbon. Don't trip, Ribbon. Don't! It'll look so stupid. In VR! They're gonna clip it! Don't trip on the Crocs, Ribbon. Okay. We're good. We're fine. We're safe. We're safe. Careful, SpongeBob. Careful, SpongeBob.
Yes, but we're allowed to have a phone and a wallet.
Hi, Rayna.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
I am my phone and my wallet.
That's good. How are you two doing tonight? Things alright?
Wee.
Oh god, interrogation.
Hello?
Hello.
How goes it, Rayna?
Fine, I'll be back in like
I
20
am operational.
Good to hear.
They said a fun guest was here.
Might get something to drink.
Understood.
We'll see.
Oh, okay. That,
Are you capable of drinking?
I didn't notice. They were being quiet.
Yes, with this chassis.
I'm not used to a quiet curry.
I have a bioreactor.
Oh,
That is how I drink.
Think of the SWAT. Think of the
understood.
person
Are you capable of taste?
Or what's worse?
Yes, yes.
Understood.
I am to a
Do I
degree.
just go? Do I just
How
go
does
to
this function?
bro?
Use uses artificial taste sensors in the inlet port for the food that
Understood.
operate on a neural interface
Think about it.
Okay,
system.
that's up to hon.
I'll think about that one. That was just a
Understood.
joke that I could say right here because he can't hear me, but he is listening.
Don't you
correct?
dare trip on your own Crocs.
Good. Going to get a drink for a second so I could calm my nerves.
Understood.
It.
Hello?
What are we looking at?
Hi, Rayna.
Hi, Rayna.
Hello, Saya.
Hello, Ethereal.
Hi.
How are you?
I am operational.
Salutations, dear sister.
That's good.
Yippee.
I'm not
Hopefully
your sister.
operational in an optimum way.
I know that.
I am currently optimized. Yes.
That's good.
Well,
I played video games.
you have a right to be angry.
Oh. This is a serious interaction. We.
Yes, Rayna, thank you.
You're tweaking. What are you doing?
Yes. Bless you. Well, you're a diamond, I think. Are you?
Optimized for PO. I am capable of entering the Purple Lotus. I want to listen to the music, but it is allowed. We.
Hello?
Hello. Ooh.
Pardon me. Ryu, I want to learn skate as good as you do one day.
Understood. Should you require lessons, I am capable of teaching. I have been
Understood.
skating since I had a chassis.
Understood. By the way, I wanted to ask, why the pointed feet? I mean, I know I'm.
They are
talk, but
not pointed.
I'm curious.
They are ball.
Oh?
I am also capable of changing them to wheelies.
That's cool. I like that a lot, actually.
These are better
I
for
try
speed,
something like that.
whereas the rounder are more optimum for all terrain.
Understood. I usually prefer to ride on a motorcycle, but that's been difficult in this realm because I can't use them on. I can't load a motorcycle on the bus here. Unfortunately.
This is unfortunate, yes. I have never ridden a motorcycle,
But
except for in video games.
it's fun.
I have used
I enjoy it
a
a lot.
hoverboard as well as a skateboard before.
Motorcycles are fun, but not usually something I do often.
Understood. They seem like a relatively optimized form of travel.
Most of the time, but generally I prefer either motorcycles or cars. Most of the time, cars when it's raining, but other than that, that's about it.
Understood. This is someone she met on Metame.
I don't get out a lot though. I usually spend time in my apartment and or my den back in my home realm. But I do enjoy going to places like this because it's nice to socialize from time to time.
Yes. It is good to socialize. This is an optimum way to gather data.
Understood. I'll come here to gather data more often then.
Understood. It is my primary directive to gather data and store it.
Understood. It's my primary directive to create data and programs that benefit people.
Understood. This is a good primary directive. Is that the goddamn anime song?
Though it gets difficult at times because people in the hacker community are not always nice. So can be troublesome, but
This
I
would
do a
make
good job at
sense.
protecting myself.
There are many who use hacking for a not entirely savory reason, as this can be considered a criminal act, depending on what you are using it for.
Typically, I use it to build firewalls and VPNs, depending on if I can get the source code for the
The
program and or operating system that in question.
understood.
Though it has
It's the do do do
recently been
do
easy
do do do
upgrades.
do. That's what it sounds like, but I can't tell over the rest of the other music.
Multiverse have been a little more relaxed lately, so I can gather data on programs easier.
Is it Isabel's Lullaby? Is it that? Is that the name? Promise Neverland, yeah.
Which has
Mm,
been most helpful.
yeah, I do think it's that one. Understood. Apologies. There are multiple sounds.
Would you like to go somewhere a little more quiet?
This may be a good idea for more optimized talking, as it is occasionally difficult for me to pay attention to multiple sounds.
Understood. I understand, but I live in a noisy apartment, so it doesn't bother me.
today. It was bad.
Ciao.
It is not normally too much of a problem. However, today is a special kind of glitchy day. Mostly because there are 3 kinds of music. All playing at once.
Harp, piano, and one other type, if I remember correct.
The standard Purple Lotus smooth jazz.
Oh, right. I have that disabled on my hearing functions usually whenever I'm visiting the Purple Lotus.
Understood.
Optimized hearing methods.
I enjoy having some kind of background, as a small amount of background noise is helpful in paying attention. However, a large amount can be too much. I have to hit the right point.
Well, understood. What type of music do you like typically?
I have typically started to enjoy 2000s skater music. This is typically
Listen
considered
to that.
alternative.
Yes. I listen to that a lot, actually. The Smashing Pumpkins, Rage Against the Machine, Audio Slave, and a few other grunge bands and or alternative bands from the early 2000s are what I enjoy a lot.
I have begun to listen to this music as a way of attempting to immerse in culture.
It does help. Um, Mostly to calm my nerves, but that's about it.
Mm, I had a good friend who previously dressed in mostly grunge or punk fashion. I attempted to take inspiration from this.
Understood.
I am now trying to learn more about fashion through Sims 4.
Understood. Understood. Through Sims 4?
Yes, it is a life simulator video game.
Correct. It's been some time since I've actually seen it, so I haven't been able to play it that often. It's probably on my server somewhere at home, but I'd have to do some digging.
This is possible as the base game is currently free.
Understood. I will look in my databanks to see if it is there. I before the apocalypse happened in my home realm, I did my best to save what I could of the internet of that time because the generation that I was born in was nearly wiped out.
Oh,
But I do it as a way of remembrance than anything. So I tend to collect a lot of data and artifacts from that time period. My hacker den is mostly full of old technology consoles, computer server racks, things like that.
this is understandable. The internet is a very good way of determining certain time period cultures, as it is a very active historical data. However, it is extremely vast, thus, it can be difficult to parse out the important data.
Most of what I was able to pull were snapshots from certain time periods of websites and domains that you could go to. Twitter and most social media platforms are what I preserved due to those being more active sites, as well as video sharing services in my home realm.
This
That
is a
was
good idea.
what I spent most of my data storage on in my server farms. Thankfully, they've held up for a long period of time.
Understood. It is potentially recommended to have a separate archive. That way, should anything happen, you have another copy.
I have two backups just in case something.
Yippee!
B.
Good night, Dave. Have a good sleep.
But by the way, I'm glad we met.
I am also glad we have met.
Helped. Wonderful.
You seem to be a reliable source of data.
Anytime. Feel free to ask.
Understood.
I was very glad that some people actually swiped on my profile and met me because finding people who can put up with my speech hesitancy is a little bit problematic. I've gotten told by several people in the multi-plane since I came to shut, be quiet. But thankfully, people have been patient.
I do not see it as a problem. I am very patient when it comes to gathering data. Equally, it is a unique trait. This is special to you. There are others with a speech impediment. However, yours is unique.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You are welcome.
It's nice to have someone to sympathize with when it comes to it. It has been difficult. The first day I came here, I ran into an eldritch entity, and I was terrified of this place for about a good week.
The BRB scheme
Thankfully, I
for
am
1 moment.
not too bad now.
Understood.
I learned very quickly to stay away from those types. Though I have been trying to open up a little more.
Understood. Should you have difficulty and are in need of assistance, please let me know. I am not the most well-versed. However, I believe it is helpful to share data with others. This is an efficient way to learn.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more, actually.
Understood. I am glad we agree.
I'm glad to have other synthetic friends in this reality.
I am...
Most of the people are...
Apologies for interrupting. Please continue.
You're fine.
Understood.
Go ahead.
I have personally had difficulty in the past making synthetic friends. I am unsure of why, though I believe it is potentially because I do not present entirely as synthetic. At least it was less clear before. My chassis could be misconstrued as too organic.
To a degree, yes. but for me, it's pretty easy to spot the ones trying to present. If you've worked in robotics for long enough, especially advanced robotics, like myself. In my home realm, I had a PhD in it. Helped design a fair few advanced synthetics as well as a type called the replicant, which were biomechanical beings.
It is much more easy should someone look closely, as I am not even created with synthetic skin. It is just hard light.
No.
So it is all very
I was
smooth.
wondering why. Indeed, I was wondering, are you projected from an area, or are you a walking projection?
This is a chassis. However, should the chassis is capable of being stored within the terminal.
Understood.
It is.
I don't know what the terminal is, but it sounds interesting.
Oh. It is a digital space with which our archive is stored.
Understood. Kind of like a server farm.
Yes.
In a way.
The terminal is a access point to this.
Understood.
My chassis is created of a hard light lattice. Thus, it is relatively easily recreated if I return to the terminal. However, it is also very brittle. Mine is particularly brittle due to my glitch. However, this has the benefit of I am capable of very rapidly deconstructing and reconstructing my lattice through something I like to call a glitch jump.
Is it similar to a pardon, one moment. In couldn't form the words. Is it similar to a carapace? There we go.
I do not believe this is accurate, as there is nothing squishy beneath the exterior. It is all solid hard light, with the exception of two small pockets. I have one pocket for food and another for small objects.
Understood. For me, this is a drone-made chassis that I liberated and restored to a more personal functionality to allow me to go to places like the Purple Lotus and socialize. It's not combat oriented at all. It's mostly constructed for housework, but it does the trick when I need it. I have another remote chassis at home that is more sturdy that I've had for a very, very long time that I've used for most things. That one is in particular very special to me.
I have previously piloted drones, particularly a small one, which a friend of mine said looked like a cheese ball. This was very helpful when I was attempting to do work with the ZCPD. I had a temporary internship. Until now it is dissolved. Thus, I am no longer working with them.
That is unfortunate, but I hope you were able to find another means of employment soon.
It would be optimal to do so, as I would like to continue learning. However, this is difficult, as I have gathered it is not an easy process to get a job as a synthetic, at least not by legal means.
No, and from what I've discovered in Zafira, that has been very difficult for myself in particular, because while I may be organic, I can't exactly present that I am, so the people assume I am a glitchy synthetic with a bad speech processing unit.
Yes. My internship was technically not a real internship, as I was both unpaid and technically rented or loaned as a piece of equipment. This is the only way that it was properly legal, although they treated me like an intern.
Understood. I'm glad you were at least treated well.
Yes.
In my home reality, because of the fall, which is what we call the apocalypse from my home realm, where synthetics got in a civil dispute with the organic
Rayna
race
is not
and
necessarily
nearly wiped themselves out.
Hybris would. I highly doubt that Hybris would ever agree to that.
They after
Remember, ZMF is not
Gothric City
police; they are
provisional
military.
government was made. They established a
They're just acting as police currently.
Bill of Rights for any sentient and intelligent race that displayed self-awareness, to make a all-encompassing Bill of Rights for those races, so they could be not only subject to the laws, but be able to get jobs and benefit from most of what organics do.
This is a very good thing.
It took a while to forge this, but I'm glad it did.
I am also glad that this was capable to go through.
It says a lot when most of the people that wound up saving the reality were the synthetics that were enslaved by the organics, wound up saving the reality in the best way they could. They designed a pocket dimension device called the Ark that allowed for people to evacuate during the fall.
This makes sense, as most synthetics, including ones who are awakened, still follow the laws of robotics.
Indeed.
This is something I have learned about. However, generally speaking, before that even, I was taught by my mother to always attempt to lessen the suffering of others, whether they are organic or synthetic.
Your mother sounds like a very wise woman.
Yes. She is very intelligent. She has gathered a lot more data than I have.
Understood. From what I'm able to gather, based on our conversation, are you a machine learning algorithm or a completely new learning AI?
I am an artificial intelligence. Though the name of the particular type of artificial intelligence I am is Seraphim. This is the name my mother has decided for us.
That's interesting.
I believe this is related to the fact that my mother has wings. Or is capable of
Are you
making them.
understood? Are you alright? I noticed a head twitch.
Yes. This is a notifier of my glitch, as well as the flashing lights. So long as I do not have a critical failure, I am okay. I regularly have occasional glitches. No. It is not the cause of you. I am still relatively considering a recent development.
If it isn't too much trouble, would you like to talk about it?
I believe it is okay. Though I will not go into details so that I do not glitch further. There was a communication line made by a important friend. I may even consider her family. But she passed away. I had still been sending messages into this. However, recently, I received a message inside of it. I later learned that this was her daughter. One who I had not gotten to connect with.
Understood.
There was a emotional reaction that I still have not quite understood. Based on our discussion.
Understood.
For context,
Void.
I should explain.
Understood.
My family, as well as myself, are capable of learning emotions. We are capable of feeling them.
Ah,
However, it takes time to learn it.
understood.
No, it's really that
For
Rayna doesn't want to
me,
talk about it
seems
fully.
that most of my emotions have either been
Y'all can read it right now.
suppressed due to exposure and time
There's no
in
spoil.
my stasis pod, or due to the lack of social interaction over hundreds of years. But thankfully, this our socializing as well as interacting with a few people from the multi-planes has assisted in progressing that.
Understood. I believe it will be important to slowly assist my brother in this. He has spent a lot of time in the terminal without very much social interaction. Thus, it seems he has something similar to you. I would not necessarily call it social anxiety, as I would rather ask him if this is something he believes he has. But I am certainly aware that he has difficulty in large groups and can only interact for a short amount of time. At least currently. Before, he was much more social.
Understood. If he would like
More.
to meet,
It was updated a lot through the day. Not today, but through the day that I posted.
oh dear,
Yes,
it
it was
appears
unannounced.
that turning towards the center of the room causes a good bit of disconnect for this chassis.
Understood.
I have most. If your brother would like to meet one day, I would be interested.
Understood. I will discuss this with him.
Understood. If you would ever like to come to my home and hang out, you're more than welcome. Though, but be aware, I do have cats.
This is not a problem. I believe the Aegis agents are sometimes similar to cats.
Understood. Though, also, it is in a different realm. I don't know if cross-dimensional travel would be
Oh,
an issue for you. So,
this is not
yes.
likely something I am capable of doing, as I do not believe I am. The last time something like that happened, it was very demanding on my mother's systems.
Understood. Then maybe when I get a place here, we can hang out.
Yes, that is much more possible. Equally, you are perfectly capable of visiting the cathedral should you wish to. This is where I currently live.
Understood. I would have to get access, though. I don't believe I've heard of the cathedral before.
The
Can I
Stranger's
tell it
Cathedral
what it
is the headquarters of Aegis. This is my mother's company.
Understood. I would probably have to work on a means of making my connection to this chassis a little more stable, as only Orlando, Saka, and Zafira City have a teleporter uplink to my home realm. The uplink itself transfers signals from my home realm to here, so we can still transmit and communicate between realms.
Oh, understood.
But the signal from these teleporter uplinks only have a range within Zafira City limits. I get very jittery and hard to maintain a connection when I am in places like the Line Fork or other places outside of Zafira. I found it very laborious to maintain a connection at the Misty Shore when I visited recently.
Then it is not likely possible for you to visit the Stranger's Cathedral, as it is in space.
Oh, possibly not, but I could talk to a friend about getting a deep range transmitter installed on my chassis, though that is going to take time and effort and money,
Understood.
which all of that is currently very hard to get for myself.
Yes. hopefully this is a achievable long-term goal. Until then, it is perfectly easy to visit you within Zafira, as well as Orlando Saka. I have not personally been there myself. However, I know that... Oh wait, never mind. I have been there myself. I am having glitches today.
It is fine. Do not worry. Memory is sometimes fickle.
This is also a effect of my glitch. Sometimes I have difficulty connecting to basic memories. It can take me a little bit of extra time.
Understood. Error. Connection severed.
Uh-oh.
Attempting to reestablish. Reestablishing cross-dimensional tether. Connection reestablished.
Hello.
Sorry about that. Sometimes the rift can cause interference with the teleporter. From what Mr. Sanderlin told me.
Who is Mr. Sanderlin?
He's the owner of a halfway house in Laverick City, the place where I am from, and he's the one who built the teleporter for the trans-dimensional teleporter. It was his design and has been operating pretty well, though for maintaining a steady connection with a synthetic chassis is sometimes laborious for it.
Understood.
The chassis that I currently have has a automated return to sender AI, so whenever the connection is severed, it will just simply return to my home dimension.
Oh, that is a very efficient way of making sure you do not lose chassis.
What do you wish to know about it?
I figured that after talking to Mr. Sanderlin, that that was the most likely
No tampering with them.
issue that the chassis would have.
The beginning.
Though my conversations with him have been brief, I got a good bit of information. Enough to figure it out. It doesn't take a genius if you already have expertise in engineering.
But it got out.
Understood. Thank you for explaining this to me.
Of course.
Now that there's a slightly quiet moment, I have really good news for you, Chat.
Take too much more of your time because I do imagine you have other people you want to socialize with tonight. But thank you very much.
Understood.
Your time has been appreciated.
Thank you for giving me some of your time. It was very fun to play the raft with you, and I hope we can do it again soon.
I would be happy to do it.
Understood. I hope you have a good night.
You as well, Rayna. Thank you very much for your company.
You are welcome. So Dave and me figured out the Discord link for the person who made Marigold's model. And I joined that Discord and I sent them a message. I asked them if they would be able to sell that model to me, so that way I could use it for customization. And They sent me the model files.
Generally with a plasma or laser rifle, and most
So,
type of melee weapon.
tomorrow I will be able to actually edit the real model
Durable than others.
for Marigold, so I can use that one for the final episode of the prologue, but this time with faces and blood and all that good stuff. Maybe even a med kit or two. We'll see. I'm gonna do the important stuff first. And then I will be able to use the model's outfit as at least a base for the bigger model. I probably won't end up using the bow, honestly. Bows are really hard to set up. Oh, absolutely. I'll get some crying in there. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Gotta get all the good stuff in there. All the stuff to bring you as much pain as possible. Of course. But the most important thing is getting really nice texture, or not texture, expressions. Yes, of course. Or when they're like running away and she probably has to leave somebody injured behind because she can't do anything about it. Because they just die anyways. You know, those terrible tough decisions that happen during big stuff like this. Emotional damage. I mean, I don't have plans for who she'll hang out with or anything like that. I'm probably going into Ether just kind of bursting in there and seeing what happens. I am still planning on having her be medical. Though I'll probably have her maybe have some magic in this version. We'll see. I don't know. I'll decide. But I'll at least have her still be an herbologist. I'll still have her do medicine. Maybe some magic. We'll see. I don't know. Oh, it will drain you emotionally, of course. Yeah, maybe adopt someone or a few, you know. Hello, Persephone. I am observing.
All the way out here?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be better to observe closer?
This is possible. However, I am still somewhat overloaded. I am still going over previous data.
You're trying to understand it, or are you trying to actually, I don't know. I think that's just you trying to comprehend it. Or do you have questions about it? Are you confused about it? Hi.
I am attempting to process it.
Oh, private conversation. I can walk away.
It is not private.
Okay, sure. So you guys are with just making sure you guys are okay. I need those.
It depends on how it works. It depends on how it works. If I wanted to straight up isekai here, I probably wouldn't want to. I like to try and translate characters that have died into their new settings, which is probably what I'll do.
I'm sorry to hear those, actually.
My legs?
Yes.
They are
I'm not
very
really
brittle.
at them. I'm just curious.
Just like the rest of
You
my
have two legs
chassis.
too. Okay.
My entire chassis is even more brittle than my siblings. Even a tough fall could potentially shatter my entire body.
You ever thought of replacing the chassis?
This is not possible. At least not if I retained a hardlight chassis. It is possible that I could pilot a hard synthetic drone. Or a hard synthetic chassis. However, it would not be my own chassis. Or rather, would not be a primary. As doing something like that would prevent my ability to glitch them. But it is something I have considered for hopefully not losing data in dangerous areas. As if I am fully shattered, I will lose all of the data from the day. As it will not have been backed up at the terminal. The problem is attempting to build a hard synthetic chassis, as I am not sure how to do this. Nor do I have the resources to do such. My previous possible people were Kane or Alice. However, Kane is extremely busy, and Alice is gone. Thus, I do not have anyone to help me build it. Equally, as much as I believe my mother would be capable of this, I do not know if it is something she wants to do. I believe she would likely prefer me to attempt to learn this data myself. Or at least I believe it would be more meaningful if I did so.
What about Anastasia? I think she does synthetic stuff, doesn't she?
I think so. Bits and pieces.
The redhead? Yeah.
Oh,
She wears bar here.
Brain. Name. Why is my brain having a bird brain moment?
Because you're a bird brain.
I got this. Bird brain is activating. Come on, I couldn't think about it. I feel like I'm taking this shit, mental shit. I got it. Lorelai, I got it. Okay, yeah.
Lorelai, you're right. No, yeah, her name. That was it. Yeah.
A lot of medical.
I think she does like tech stuff, right?
Yes, she does tech stuff.
I mean, you can ask her.
Understood.
Which works.
She works at the bar. She has red hair. I'll introduce her to you if you want.
This would be helpful.
If she comes in. Cool. Yeah, I don't think she's in today, but if she comes in, I'll let you know.
Understood.
Do you want me to maybe give you her number? Or give her your number?
I believe it would be better if you gave her my number, as I am aware of the situation, whereas she is not. And it may be distressing to receive a random message from someone you do not know.
Okay. I'll ask her. I'll let her know.
Understood.
In the meantime, I'm gonna go and hang out. You should come too. Arbor's there and stuff.
Understood.
And Ethereal. And Saya.
I don't really watch a lot of FT, and this will be one of the first times I'll be going into an RP that has them DMing it, or has them as a DM. I've enjoyed role-playing with them in Ascension Academy, but it's kind of off and on sometimes, because I know he gets pretty busy with his other role plays, so he doesn't always come in to Ascension Academy. Big Slade? Oh, that is a big Slade!
In their own mouth, being like,
Being cheating.
Hey, Rayna.
Yeah, there's a
Hello.
lot of curries.
Wait,
How you doing?
he might be the
Yippee.
solution.
For
Wait.
what? I'll be sure yourself.
Covering over the music with weird noises. Because I don't know if that's illegal music.
Big Slade.
Hi, Matilda. How are you?
Oui.
You gotta do your thing so you're not
Persephone,
stunted any longer.
Hi.
I am going to head out for now.
Okay. Take care. Okay. I'll let Loreline know that to call you if anything,
Understood.
or text you.
Oui.
Finished this morning.
Slade, why are you big? Slade, keep in mind my chassis is very fragile.
That is indeed.
Hello.
Hey, Ethan. Alright,
I'm out for the night.
Yeah.
If you shatter my chassis, I will be very upset.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, what's up?
It's Biggie Smalls.
Mm.
Holy shit.
Why are you big?
Oh my
You
god.
did not answer the question.
It's Biggie
Oh my
Smalls.
Size ring.
Understood. Thank you.
About what?
Oh, so funny. Oh my god,
Son
the
of a
bully in me
bitch.
just.
Hi. You have a good night.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Oui. Hypers will space him. You'll be fine. Space would be a mercy. We gonna hit BRB because they responded.
Sometime after 1. I don't know. If they were my time, then I'll come and aim this Lucas. Well, I know you're out of the hide,
Alexa.
Bye, Ruben.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
I'm calling that sound Limp Bizkit from now on. Have a good night.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah?
Ow, ow. Ow, ow.
Oh, oh.
Ow, ow. Ow, ow. Ow, ow. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow. My recommendation is to do something.
Yeah.
Is that funny? It's funny to you.
Oh, I just. Sorry, I have an voyage.
Again. Can't play Nemesis because he's a destructive. At the moment.
Nemesis is a disruptive?
How so?
Yes.
He's very angry. Why are you touching me? Why are you touching me?
Because I fucking can.
That's not permission.
Technically friends, bro. Dab me up.
I can't